Hello, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Faizan Ali and I am Assistant Professor in the Department of Petroleum Engineering. I am sharing this course of water flooding and introduction to enhanced oil recovery with Mr. Arqam Khan, and the topic of my first presentation is miscible flooding. Most of the content of this presentation has been taken from the chapter number 4 of the book titled Enhanced Oil Recovery by Marcel Lettel. This book and this presentation has been uploaded on the Google Classroom. These topics will be discussed in this presentation: miscible flooding, types of miscible flooding, ternary diagrams, minimum miscibility pressure, minimum miscibility enrichment, and stream tube experiment. Miscible flooding. In miscible flooding, your injected fluid is miscible with your reservoir oil, and as per book definition, miscible drive is a fluid displacement during which the displacing fluid and the displacement fluid becomes miscible in all proportion, at least to a local extent. In miscible flooding, basically your injected fluid and your reservoir oil have mixed together to form a single phase. There is no interface and there is no interfacial tension, there is no capillary forces between your injected fluid and your reservoir oil. So whether that injected fluid will become miscible with your reservoir oil or not, it will basically determine through studying the pressure and temperature condition of that injected fluid and reservoir oil. So as written over here, that various displacing fluids may become miscible with reservoir oil under certain conditions of pressure, temperature and phase composition. For example, if you want your methane to get mixed with a particular oil, that methane gas will surely get mixed with your oil if you can attain that required pressure and temperature condition. So any hydrocarbon gas can get mixed with the oil if you can provide the required pressure and temperature condition. Immiscible flooding. The concept using miscible flooding is that immiscible flooding has some limitations. One of the limitation of immiscible flooding is that the oil is not the oil is not produced completely, and some of the oil is left in the reservoir. To understand this, consider this figure. In this figure, basically you have 3 production wells and 1 injection well, and through injection well you are injecting water which is displacing oil immiscibly, which is this water is not miscible with oil. As you can see, this water is immiscible, and generally basically water has lower viscosity as compared to oil and higher density as compared to oil. So because of this lower viscosity of water, the water movement is not evenly. Water is not moving evenly. In some areas you can see water propagation is very high, and the propagation basically is called fingering. फिंगरिंग बेसिकली ये हो रहा है कि आपकी जो वाटर मूवमेंट है वो किसी जगह से ज़्यादा हो रही है, किसी जगह से कम हो रही है. जहाँ पर आपकी हाई परमिटिविटी जोन है वहाँ से पानी बहुत तेज़ी से जा रहा है, जहाँ से चैनल बन गए हैं आपके पानी के वहाँ से पानी तेज़ी से जा रहा है. सो बिकॉज ऑफ दिस अनइवन मूवमेंट ऑफ वाटर, this is called fingering. All of the area is not completely contacted by water. Apart from the area that is contacted by water, if you see the swept area, where water has passed through. So in swept zone, you see some of the oil has been trapped. All of the oil in the swept zone has not been recovered by the water, and this residual oil basically has left in the reservoir because of the interfacial tension and capillary forces. So this is the basic disadvantage or the shortcoming of immiscible flooding, is that some of the oil remains in the reservoir, which is called the residual oil, and this number obviously varies from 30% to maybe 60% depending on the density and viscosity of your oil. So enhancing this number, the recovery is very important, and this is called the microscopic recovery. Microscopic recovery is defined as the percentage of oil recovered in the swept zone. जहाँ से पानी गुजर गया है उस जोन से कितना आपको रिकवरी मिली है उसको कहते हैं हम माइक्रोस्कोपिक रिकवरी. और दूसरी कहलाती है मैक्रोस्कोपिक रिकवरी, जो बताती है कि आपका कि कहाँ आपका पानी रिजर्वायर में चला गया है. तो बेसिकली देयर आर टू रिकवरीज वन इज कॉल्ड माइक्रोस्कोपिक रिकवरी विच इज़ बेसिकली इज डीलिंग एट द माइक्रोस्कोपिक लेवल कि आपके स्वेप्ट जोन में से कितना ऑयल रिकवर हुआ है. और दूसरा वन इज मैक्रोस्कोपिक रिकवरी विच टेल्स के कितने रिजर्वायर कितने एरिया में आपका पानी गया है. And obviously the macroscopic recovery has been is also called the volumetric recovery, and which is divided into further two parts, which is called aerial and vertical recovery or efficiency. So recovery factor, the overall recovery factor is the product of displacement, aerial and vertical efficiency, and in miscible flooding basically you are trying to maximize this displacement और द माइक्रोस्कोपिक रिकवरी कि आपका जो माइक्रो लेवल पे आपका ऑयल रह रहा है दैट शुड नॉट बी लेफ्ट इन रिजर्वायर एंड शुड बी रिकवर्ड. सो इन ऑर्डर टू इन्हांस रिकवरी एंड यू डू मिसिबल फ्लडिंग, अगेन इट इज़ रिटन दैट द टर्म displacement efficiency accounts for the trapping of oil by capillary forces in the pores invaded by the displacing fluid, and it is also called the macroscopic efficiency. If somehow the capillary forces are eliminated by using miscible flooding, theoretically you can recover 100% of your oil, which means no oil is left in reservoir if practically you can eliminate all the capillary forces. Miscible flooding, in some books it is written that through miscible flooding you can enhance the ED, but generally same limitations as far as aerial and vertical efficiency are concerned are also associated with miscible flooding. So you can, through miscible flooding you can basically enhance this ED, but sometimes you cannot change this EA and EV. So this is one of the use of miscible flooding, that you are enhancing the ED, which will ultimately increase your recovery factor. There is a quick comparison between the miscible and the immiscible flooding. In immiscible flooding, obviously you have interface between your injected and produced fluid, and recovery is always less because of low microscopic efficiency and viscous fingering. These are definition of viscous fingering, that due to viscosity difference between injected and produced fluid, fingering occurs, which is water start producing from a particular zone and water behind starts to follow same path because of less resistance offered. यानी फिंगरिंग में ऐसा होता है कि एक दफ़ा एक जगह से रास्ता बन गया तो पीछे आने वाला इंजेक्टेड फ्लूइड उसी रास्ते को फॉलो करता है, बिकॉज फॉर दैट वाटर वो रास्ता जहाँ से पहले पानी गुजर चुका है वो कम रेजिस्टेंस ऑफर कर रहा है एज कम्पेयर टू अदर जोन. दिस इज कॉल्ड फिंगरिंग. सो visible flooding has advantages that no interfacial tension exists between injected and produced fluid. You have a single phase, and many times the effect of fingering and gravity segregations are lower in miscible flooding, but still miscible flooding have same limitation as compared to aerial and vertical efficiencies are concerned. Aerial efficiency ये है ना कि कितने एरिया में आपका पानी जा रहा है, और वर्टिकल एफिशिएंसी ये है कि कितने थिकनेस में आपका इंजेक्टेड फ्लूइड जा रहा है. तो जहाँ जहाँ पानी लिखा हुआ है वहाँ समझें इंजेक्टेड फ्लूइड की बात हो रही है कि अगर आपका इंजेक्टेड फ्लूइड तमाम एरिया में चला जाएगा तो वी विल से दैट एरियल एफिशिएंसी इज इक्वल टू 1. एंड सिमिलरली इफ योर इंजेक्टेड फ्लूइड स्प्रेड्स अक्रॉस द ऑल ऑफ द थिकनेस ऑफ द फेज जोन, वी विल से दैट वर्टिकल एफिशिएंसी इज 100%. So first that your injected fluid should invade all of the area and the thickness, and second thing is that where your injected fluid has invaded, all of the oil in the invaded zone should have been recovered, and that is called microscopic efficiency. तो एक पहले पानी या आपका गैस हर जगह जाए और फिर जहाँ जहाँ गया है आपका वहाँ का सारा पानी, सारा ऑयल अगर रिकवर हो गया तो वी विल से दैट रिकवरी इज़ 100%. So again we know that it is not possible. That is why we are saying that aerial and vertical efficiency limitations are also associated with miscible displacement, although miscible displacement basically enhances the microscopic efficiency very rapidly. These are basically phenomena of fingering, that basically your water bypasses your oil, and if water is has bypassed your oil through one zone, which the behind water will follow this area and will not spread across the thickness and area of the remaining zone. This is called fingering, and that is not a desirable thing during basically during your flooding operations. Again, this figure again shows the effect of gravity and viscosity. As you can see, in ideal case you want your injected fluid to be behind your oil, and in ideal case you expect and wish that your displacement is like a piston displacement, piston like displacement. इट्स इज मूविंग लाइक पिस्टन लाइक डिस्प्लेसमेंट हो रही है आपकी, और आपका जो फ्रंट है वो बहुत आपका स्लोली मूव कर रहा है, और आपका फ्रंट जो इंजेक्टेड फ्लूइड का फ्रंट मूव करता जा रहा है और ऑयल आपका रिकवर होता जा रहा है. बट इन रियलिटी बिकॉज ऑफ द लोअर डेंसिटी ऑफ योर इंजेक्टेड फ्लूइड, इस केस में CO2 है जिसकी लोअर डेंसिटी है आपकी, तो दिस कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज मूविंग फ्रॉम द टॉप ऑफ योर फेज जोन, एंड अगेन it's called gravity segregation, and because of this gravity segregation this CO2 will not contact your oil in the bottom of the zone. So only oil in the top of the zone is recovered, and the remaining oil in the bottom of the zone will be left, and the aerial and vertical efficiency of because of the gravity segregation will be lower. And this is the viscosity contrast effect, that because of the channeling in some area CO2 starts moving rapidly, and rest CO2 will follow this path, and will again this will reduce your aerial and vertical efficiency. So this density and viscosity effect are basically present in miscible displacement, and you basically try to in miscible flooding you are basically targeting the microscopic efficiency. Again in this figure it is shown that if this gas is miscible with your oil, it will form a single phase, and this phase will travel through the pore space of your rock and will ultimately produce. This oil was originally left in the reservoir because of the high capillary forces and because of high interfacial tension, and when this gas has mixed with your oil, no interfacial tension and no capillary forces exist between these two fluids, and the resulted जो mixture has lower viscosity and lower density as compared to the oil alone, and this mixture is moving through this rock. So as written over here, that displacement efficiency has increased and resulted in lower residual oil. There are basically two types of miscible flooding. First is called the first contact miscible process, and other one is called the multiple contact miscible process. And multiple contact miscible process has further two subclassification. One is called vaporizing gas drive, and another one is called the condensing gas drive. We will see each of them in detail. First of all, first contact miscibility. In first contact miscibility, your injected fluid and your reservoir oil are said to be first contact miscible if when mixed together in any proportion at given conditions they form a single phase. And in simple word में, जैसे ही आपने इंजेक्टेड फ्लूइड आपने अपने रिजर्वायर में डाला, ऑन देयर फर्स्ट कॉन्टैक्ट On their first contact, your injected fluid and reservoir oil become single phase. This is called first contact miscibility. Basically, we will see that there are different fluids that can be injected in reservoir that forms first contact miscibility with your reservoir oil. Generally, the injected fluid that forms a single phase on their first contact with oil are expensive. Generally, those fluids which forms first contact miscibility with oil are very expensive. So basically, you inject a small volume of that, and that is called basically primary slug. So afterward, you inject a larger, less volume of less expensive secondary slug that is miscible with your primary slug. We will say it. So in first contact miscible processes, first you inject a fluid that is miscible with oil, followed by a secondary fluid which is miscible with your primary fluid. Economic issues determine the primary slug size, and to avoid trapping of injected solvent in the reservoir, the secondary slug try to be miscible with the first slug. इस फिगर के ज़रिए इसको समझने की कोशिश करें. आपके ऑयल रिजर्वायर के अंदर ऑयल मौजूद था. ऑयल को आपने बेसिकली प्रोपेन के ज़रिए प्रोड्यूस करवाने की कोशिश करी. प्रोपेन ऑब्वियसली इज़ एक्सपेंसिव एज़ कम्पेयर टू मीथेन. सो इस कंडीशन के अंदर अगर हम बात करें तो ऑयल के साथ जो फर्स्ट कॉन्टेक्ट मिसिबल बनाया वो प्रोपेन ने बनाया. तो व्हेन यू इंजेक्ट प्रोपेन, दिस प्रोपेन फॉर्म्स first contact miscibility with your oil, and you can see the miscible zone between propane and oil. If you have basically enough propane and money, you could have injected propane continuously, and that propane would have displaced oil towards the production well. But since propane is expensive, so after injecting a small and calculated amount of propane, you basically inject methane. Methane is less expensive as compared to propane. This methane obviously will comes in contact with propane only. This methane will not come in contact with propane. So this methane and propane, if they are miscible, so they will form a miscible zone over here at their junction, and you will displace propane by injecting C1. So you are continuously injecting C1. That C1 basically is pushing C3, and that C3 is basically pushing oil. Since C1 is miscible with C3, you will not have basically bypassing of C1 in C3. अगर आपने sufficient basically C3 इस्तेमाल किया है तो C1 basically क्या होगा, ना आपकी फिंगरिंग होगी, ना आपकी ग्रेविटी की सेग्रीगेशन होगी, बल्कि बेसिकली आपका C1 इवनली पुश करेगा आपकी C3 को. और C3 चूँकि आपका मिसिबल है ऑयल के साथ, तो C3 भी आपके ऑयल को बाईपास नहीं करेगा, जो कि फिंगरिंग और ग्रेविटी सेग्रीगेशन हो रही थी. तो बेसिकली क्या होगा कि C3 आपका इवनली ऑयल को पुश करता रहेगा. तो बेसिकली दिस इज़ द प्रोसेस डायग्राम ऑफ एन FCM प्रोसेस. सवाल हमारे पास ये आता है कि हमें डायरेक्ट C1 ही क्यों इंजेक्ट नहीं की गई. हम डायरेक्ट C1 इंजेक्ट करते ऑयल के साथ, तो बेसिकली अगर C1 ऑयल के साथ मिक्स हो जाता, सही है, मैं C1 तो इसलिए इंजेक्ट किया है ना यहाँ पर कि बेसिकली C3 महंगी है, हमारे पास इतनी अवेलेबल नहीं थी, तो C3 की हमने एक थोड़ी कम क्वांटिटी यूज़ करी, जिसको हमने प्राइमरी स्लग कहा, जो कि बेसिकली इंजेक्ट किया गया ताकि वो ऑयल के साथ मिक्स हो जाए. जब वो मिक्स हो गया, थोड़ा सा हमने C3 और डाला ताकि उसका थोड़ा साइज़ बड़ा हो जाए. उसके बाद फिर हम स्टार्ट इंजेक्टिंग C1, एंड दैट C1 इज़ बेसिकली मिसिबल विथ C3 ओनली. सवाल ये होता है कि अगर हम डायरेक्ट C1 इंजेक्ट क्यों नहीं किया हमने यहाँ ऑयल के साथ. द आंसर इज़ दैट C1 वॉज नॉट मिसिबल विथ ऑयल. अगर खाली हम C1 इंजेक्ट कर रहे थे तो C1 वॉज इमिसिबल विथ योर रिजर्वायर ऑयल, एंड बेसिकली यू विल नॉट हैव मिसिबल डिस्प्लेसमेंट with methane. So this is the process diagram of an FCM process. again pressure and temperature plays a very important role, and the phase diagram of each picture will help you determining whether these two components, for example C3 and oil, will be miscible or not, or C1 and C3 will be miscible or not. We will see in the coming slides. This is basically another example showing that you displace oil through LPG, mixture of C3 and C4, and between your primary slug and your oil you have miscible zone, and that miscible zone is being displaced through C3, and between and basically you displace LPG. This is basically a process diagram of an FCM process. In many cases, basically you basically first in order to produce oil, you first inject alcohol. Alcohol again has a very good miscibility with your oil, so alcohol will get mixed with your oil on the first contact. तो आप ऑयल को पहले रिजर्वायर के अंदर पहले अल्कोहल इंजेक्ट करते हैं. अल्कोहल बेसिकली ऑयल के साथ फर्स्ट कॉन्टेक्ट मिसिबल बना लेता है. क्योंकि ऑयल अल्कोहल थोड़ा सा एक्सपेंसिव है, तो आप अल्कोहल की थोड़ी क्वांटिटी डालने के बाद आप फिर अल्कोहल को डिस्प्लेस करवाते हैं पानी से, एंड वाटर इज़ बेसिकली मिसिबल विथ योर अल्कोहल. तो प्राइमरी स्लग उस केस में अल्कोहल हुआ और सेकेंडरी स्लग आपका बेसिकली वाटर हुआ. सेकेंडरी स्लग आप इतना इंजेक्ट करते हैं कि अल्टीमेटली कई दफ़ा आपको जो अपना प्राइमरी स्लग आपने इंजेक्ट किया होता है वो भी आपको रिकवर हो जाता है. सो मैनी टाइम्स यू रिकवर योर प्राइमरी स्लग, in this case LPG, in other case alcohol. So in that way basically you try to justify the economics of the project. Generally first contact miscibility can be achieved for highly rich gas, या तो LPG है या C3 या butane. तो first contact miscibility can be achieved for highly rich gas or at very high pressure for lean gas. These are only two possibility. या तो आप C3 C4 इंजेक्ट करें लो प्रेशर के ऊपर, या आप बेसिकली C1 इंजेक्ट करें बहुत हाई प्रेशर के ऊपर. एंड रिमेंबर दैट मैनी टाइम्स यू कैन नॉट अप्लाई वेरी हाई प्रेशर इन रिजर्वायर, क्योंकि आपको पता है कि ऑल फॉर्मेशन हैज़ अ लिमिटेशन दैट इज़ कॉल्ड द फ्रैक्चर प्रेशर लिमिटेशन. अगर आप उस प्रेशर से बियॉन्ड जाते हैं, चाहे वो इंजेक्शन प्रेशर पे हो या किसी तरीके से भी हो, तो आपकी फॉर्मेशन कोलैप्स हो जाएगी, एंड दैट इज़ नॉट दी रिक्वायर्ड, दिस इज़ नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. तो फ्रैक्चर प्रेशर जो है वो एक लिमिटेशन होती है, और आप क्लीन गैस को, यानी कि C1 की बात हो रही है यहाँ पर, या नाइट्रोजन की बात हो रही है, या इवन कई केसेस में CO2, तो आप अपनी लीन गैस को बहुत हाई प्रेशर पे इंजेक्ट नहीं कर सकेंगे. सो इफ़ यू कुड हैव अप्लाइड दैट हाई प्रेशर, कि अगर आप हाई प्रेशर अप्लाई कर सकते थे उस रिजर्वायर के अंदर, तो हो सकता है C1 ही आपकी मिसिबल हो जाती है आपके ऑयल के साथ, और फर्स्ट कॉन्टेक्ट मिसिबिलिटी आपकी अचीव हो जाती. बट अगेन since we cannot apply high pressure, so basically we go through this process that we first inject a highly rich gas as a primary slug that is miscible with oil, and then we inject lean gas as a secondary slug that is miscible with primary slug only. As written over here, that higher molecular weight hydrocarbons such as propane or LPG are miscible with crude oil at most reservoir condition. We will see that the injection pressure should be high enough that it lies outside the two-phase region of the two fluids, crude oil and displacing fluid. Obviously, before injecting any particular fluid as a primary slug or secondary slug, we need to consider the phase diagram of that fluid with either oil or that fluid with this primary slug. So we need to basically carefully design that whether you will have miscibility at this pressure of these two fluids in reservoir or not. So if they are miscible, then obviously we will go for the injection of that particular fluid. While designing the injected fluid for FCM for a particular crude oil, there are three factors to consider. इंजेक्शन प्रेशर, रिजर्वायर टेम्परेचर एंड द कंपोजिशन ऑफ द इंजेक्टेड फ्लूइड। अब सबसे पहला तो ये कि आपके पास अवेलेबल कौन कौन से फ्लूइड हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल इन मेनी केस you may have carbon dioxide available fluid. In many cases you may have the produced gas as injection fluid, जो C1 हो सकती है या mixture of C1 and some H2S and nitrogen. In many cases you may have nitrogen available as injection fluid. तो आपके पास सबसे पहले तो ये होगा कि कौन सी गैसेस या फ्लूइड्स आपके पास अवेलेबल हैं फॉर इंजेक्शन। अगेन रिजर्वायर टेम्परेचर क्या है रिजर्वायर का। Again, reservoir temperature basically many times cannot be changed. So reservoir temperature is fixed. Injection pressure basically is one of the variable along with the composition of the injection fluid. So pressure can be increased above reservoir pressure, but obviously the upper limit is the fracture pressure. तो आपके पास एक window है. You need to injected fluid above reservoir pressure but below the fracture pressure of the rock. This is the window basically you need to consider while designing any particular injection fluid in reservoir. So out of these three factors, injection pressure and composition of the injection fluid, basically the two variables you can play. Reservoir temperature is generally a fixed quantity. As written over here that the temperature of the reservoir cannot be changed, and there are also pressure limitations such that we cannot inject the fluids higher than the fracture pressure of the reservoir, and we cannot inject fluid less than the reservoir pressure of the reservoir. So this is the window: reservoir pressure and fracture pressure. Obviously, with this limit of pressure and temperature, the composition of the injection fluid is designed for most of the FCM process. We will see an example. We have been asked to design an FCM process for an oil reservoir. The composition of reservoir oil basically is given. That reservoir oil is composed of normal decane. Reservoir pressure is given to us. Reservoir pressure is 2000 psi. Reservoir temperature is 150 degree Fahrenheit. Fracture pressure is given to us 4000 psi. So these are basically the input that is given to us: the composition of reservoir oil, reservoir pressure and temperature, and the fracture pressure. And we have been asked to consider only methane and propane as the injection fluid for this exercise. So we have to design the FCM process. So obviously we will first see that whether this decane is miscible with methane or not, because methane obviously is less expensive as compared to propane. So basically first we will go for the cheapest option, which is considering methane as injected fluid for the FCM process. Obviously when methane is not miscible with oil in this condition, we will go for propane. But propane, is very expensive, so we will, after injecting some propane, we will see that whether propane is miscible with methane or not under this condition. As reservoir oil and injected fluids that are being considered for injection are all pure component. reservoir oil खाली डिकेन है जो कि प्योर कंपोनेंट है. इंजेक्शन फ्लूइड्स या तो आपके मीथेन है या प्रोपेन है, और दोनों ही प्योर कंपोनेंट है. तो बेसिकली द फेज डायग्राम ऑफ प्योर कंपोनेंट need to be considered for this exercise, and basically this figure has been taken from basically the chapter number phase behavior of William D. McCain. As you can see, methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane, hexane, heptane, decane, these are the vapor pressure line of pure components. Methane, carbon dioxide, ethane, propane, these are basically the pure vapor pressure line of pure components, and these envelopes that are basically joining the critical point of two components. For example, this envelope, this curve basically that is connecting the critical points of methane and ethane is showing that the two-phase condition of these two components, the phase behavior of the, of a mixture containing methane and ethane. For example, this envelope, which is basically connecting the critical point of methane and critical point of decane, is basically showing the two-phase condition of the mixture containing methane and decane. In simple words, the mixture of methane and decane can have two phase under this envelope. तो envelope के अंदर आपका methane और decane two phase condition में होगा, and outside basically this envelope you will have a single phase condition. And basically in FCM process हमने क्या देखना है कि आपका जो भी दो फ्लूइड को हम कंसिडर कर रहे हैं, मीथेन डिकेन को या प्रोपेन डिकेन को, वी नीड टू बी श्योर दैट pressure and temperature condition, injection pressure conditions basically should lie outside the envelope. So any pressure temperature condition which is lying inside the envelope will show that the mixture will be in two phase condition, and two phase means immiscible condition. We need to be design the miscible condition, single phase condition. So we have to look for the pressure and temperature condition where these two components are in single phase, which is in miscible condition. So the first case we are considering injecting methane in reservoir. Basically we have to see the phase condition of methane and phase condition of pure component decane at 2000 psi, and it is written over here that at 2000 psi and 150 degree Fahrenheit, methane is in the gas phase and oil is in the liquid phase, as it is shown over here that at 2000 psi methane is in the gas phase and oil is in the liquid phase, and the mixture of methane and decane is in two phase condition at reservoir condition. So at reservoir condition the mixture of methane and decane is in two phase condition, which means you have immiscible flooding at reservoir condition. That will be basically shown over here. As you can see, this is basically envelope of methane and decane, and any point pressure temperature condition that is lying inside this envelope will show that you have immiscible flooding. So 2000 psi and 150 degree point is lying inside the phase envelope, showing that two phase condition at reservoir condition. तो इस फिगर को, जो कि बेसिकली यही फिगर है जिसके अंदर वाली हर चीज़ को रिमूव कर दिया गया है और आपके लिए खाली मीथेन और डिकेन के फेज एनवेलप को शो किया गया है. तो फेज एनवेलप का मतलब ये है कि बेसिकली इसके अंदर आपको टू फेज कंडीशन होगी और उसके बाहर एनवेलप के बाहर आपके पास सिंगल फेज कंडीशन होगी. तो रेजर्वायर प्रेशर टेम्परेचर के ऊपर आपका, अगर हम मीथेन इंजेक्ट करते हैं रेजर्वायर प्रेशर के ऊपर, तो मीथेन डिकेन के साथ आपका जो बिहेवियर होगा वो इमिसिबल होगा. मीथेन विल नॉट गेट मिक्स विथ योर रेजर्वायर ऑयल विच इज़ डिकेन. तो अगर आपने चेक करना है कि किस प्रेशर के ऊपर जाके योर मीथेन विल गेट मिक्स विथ योर रेजर्वायर ऑयल विच इज़ डिकेन. सो बेसिकली एट रेजर्वायर टेम्परेचर यू नीड टू फाइंड अ प्रेशर वेयर यू कम आउट ऑफ योर फेज एनवेलप, यानी वो प्रेशर मालूम करना है जिस पर आप बेसिकली क्या हो, एनवेलप से बाहर आ जाएं. और एनवेलप से बाहर आने का मतलब यू हैव द मिसिबल कंडीशन. सो एट 150 degree Fahrenheit, FCM of methane and decane will achieve at around 5200 psi. ये जो आप big red circle दिख रहा है, this is the pressure basically where the mixture of methane and decane will be in the single phase. In other words, when you inject methane at 5200 psi, यानी जब मीथेन को आप 5200 psi पे इंजेक्ट करेंगे तभी जाकर आपकी मीथेन जो आपके डिकेन के साथ क्या होगी, मिक्स होगी. वी हैव सीन एंड वी नो दैट प्रेशर इज़ बेसिकली द टेक्निकल फैक्टर. प्रेशर बढ़ाते रहेंगे तो कोई चीज़ जो लाइक कंपोनेंट्स होते हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल हाइड्रोकार्बन्स की बात कर रहे हैं, तो अगर आप प्रेशर बढ़ाते रहेंगे तो लाइक components will get mixed together eventually. मीथेन किसी भी ऑयल के साथ आपकी मिक्स हो सकती है अगर आप प्रेशर बढ़ाते रहें. एक प्रेशर ऐसा आएगा ही आएगा जब आपकी जो मीथेन उस ऑयल के साथ मिक्स हो जाएगी. तो इस केस के अंदर मीथेन इज़ गेटिंग मिक्स विथ योर ऑयल एट अ प्रेशर अराउंड 5200 psi. So again we have to see that whether we can apply this pressure or not. So we have been given the information that the fracture pressure is 4000 psi. So pressure आपको दिया 4000 psi और आपका देख रहे हैं कि basically the FCM condition will achieve at around 5200 psi. So at this condition this is not possible. This cannot be possible because this is higher than the formation pressure. So the idea of injecting methane in reservoir for the first contact miscible process is not applicable because methane will get mixed at higher pressure than the formation fracture pressure. So we go for another option, which is considering injecting propane in reservoir. Again we need to see the envelope of propane and decane, and this is the phase envelope of propane and decane. And since propane is higher molecular weight hydrocarbon, we see that envelope is much lower as compared to the envelope of methane and decane. So envelope lower means that the two-phase condition where these two components as a mixture will have two-phase condition will be lower. So we first need to check whether at reservoir pressure propane will get mixed with your oil or not. So we basically plot the reservoir pressure point on this envelope, and the reservoir pressure point is lying outside the envelope. So this is the propane and decane envelope, and this is the reservoir point, which is 2000 psi and 150 degree Fahrenheit. And as you can see, at this point, which is lying outside the phase envelope, propane and decane are in single phase, which means that at reservoir pressure and temperature your propane will easily get mixed with your decane, which means you can use propane as a either primary slug or as an FCM process. So again it is written over here that oil points which are pressure and temperature conditions outside the phase envelope will indicate the single phase, and single phase means that this mixture will exist, a miscible process is possible. So this is shown that mixture will be in liquid phase, so miscible process is possible. So you can inject propane, and since propane is expensive, you will use propane as a primary slug, and you will try to displace propane by a cheaper fluid, for example methane in this case. So in case number 3, which is we are considering miscibility of methane as secondary slug with propane. As written over here that in practice solvents such as propane that are miscible with crude oil are more expensive than methane gas, and thus primary slug must be relatively small for economic reason. The primary slug may be followed by a large volume of less expensive fluid such as lean gas, methane for example. This secondary slug should be miscible with the primary slug, thus yielding an efficient displacement of primary slug. So we will see that whether methane is miscible with propane or not at reservoir condition. So this is the envelope of methane and propane. Again, this envelope has been taken from this figure. So the envelope, this methane and propane envelope has been taken separately. So again, this since the molecular difference between methane and propane is not high, so there's resulting two component mixture phase diagram is also very, very small, and at reservoir condition at 150 degree Fahrenheit and 2000 psi, the condition is lying outside the phase envelope of methane and propane, which again indicates that this mixture will be in the single phase, which means both methane and propane will be miscible with each other at this condition, as written over here. So propane is miscible with oil, which is decane, and methane is basically miscible with propane. As you can see over here that at reservoir condition, methane and propane are miscible with each other, and the resulting mixture is in the gaseous phase. So methane is a summary basically of this exercise, that methane and oil are immiscible, but propane and oil are miscible, and also methane and propane are miscible. So based on this result, you can basically design the FCM process, and basically you inject propane as a primary slug, and methane is a secondary slug. So in this exercise basically we have seen that pressure, temperature and composition are very important parameter in this in designing basically the FCM process. Any component can get mixed with oil if we do not have any pressure limitation.